Hi, my name's Rosé.
Hi everyone, it's Rosé here.
Blackpink is being called the biggest pop band in the world. Billions with a B of views.
Blackpink arrived with such force.
Blackpink's Rosé teases her solo project.
Can we do that one more time? That was fun.
Rosé finding huge success as a solo act.
제가 좋아하는 랜덤 게임, 랜덤 게임, 게임 스타일.
First Korean female act.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you
Rosé and Bruno Mars.
Thank you so much. This means so much to me.
The final list of nominees for the annual Grammy Awards.
For Song of the Year, Aparte.
Welcome to a special edition of Call Her Daddy. We are going to do things just a little bit differently today. I came to Seoul to interview someone very special, immerse myself in her culture, and maybe have a little fun along the way. So, if you're ready, let's get into it.
What is up, Daddy Gang? It is your founding father, Alex Cooper, with Call Her Daddy.
Alex Cooper, welcome to Korea.
Rosé, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Hidden Valley Ranch. Boom. Okay, one thing about my family, we are very serious about our holiday food. Okay, everyone has their item that they make every year, and this year I have been adding Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning to mine. Okay, Hidden Valley Ranch tastes amazing on so many of your favorite foods. You may already love using the dressing on salads or as, you know, obviously a dip for your veggies or your chicken parm or your chicken wings. But adding a ranch to twist your favorite holiday dishes will make them and take them to the next level. Okay, think about a spinach dip made with some Hidden Valley Ranch dip mix. Boom. Are you kidding me? It is so easy to throw together and instantly elevates a good old classic. Or even a slow cook pot roast with some ranch seasoning sprinkled in. Boom. Okay. Game changer. You'll be so surprised by how versatile and of course delicious cooking with Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning can be. My personal move has been adding it to my holiday mashed potatoes and my corn souffle. You know, I'm just in the kitchen all the time with my good old Hidden Valley Ranch, you guys. My dishes this season are taking everyone in my family down because of the Hidden Valley element, okay? Matt knows that, you know, yeah, maybe I'm not the best chef. That's fine. But through and through, I'm impressing when I am making things with Hidden Valley Ranch and the mix, okay? They've even got the stamp of approval from my family whenever I've made things, and they're like, what's in this? And I'm like, yeah, you know what's in it, okay? Find your favorite Hidden Valley Ranch products at walmart.com/Hidden Valley.
Oh my gosh, she's moving. Oh my God. Hi. Oh my God, welcome to Call Her Daddy.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it feels like I'm watching a screen.
I know. I feel like I've been watching you for hours prepping for this, and to see you in person, I'm like, oh my God, it's you. We're here.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Okay, this is my first time ever in Korea.
Yay.
I feel so honored that I get to spend this time with you. So, should we get going?
Oh, please. Wait, when did you arrive?
Like 10 hours ago.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't go to a coffee shop because we have this entire place shut down for you. Like, can you go normal places?
If I like cover up properly, it's usually like the hair. I have like a cap on and then I look like a murderer basically, and everyone's like, and I'm just like this dark thing walking around. But if I can just like cover it up, then I can.
I mean, you are sitting in front of me. You're a global superstar. But I do kind of want to go back before all of this. YG Entertainment was holding auditions and your dad encouraged you to try out. Can you talk to me about what that process was like a little bit?
I think me growing up, like even culturally, my parents, it wasn't a normal thing to like send me off to like something like that or like classes or anything like that. And so I would always just sing at home, just like on the piano. And it was like, never taken lessons before, so it was very like organic and stuff. But for him to be like, do you want to take an audition? I was like what? Me? Like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't have any. I'm not a great singer. Am I? I was like, am I? Dad? No.
You're like, wait, tell me again, Dad. Should I do this?
Like, what?
Yeah, but then Rosie, you go and you audition and you come in first out of thousands of people. Were you nervous going into the audition or were you like, I've got this?
No, I was like laughing because when I was like in the line, all these girls were like playing me. They're like, hi, I wrote this song. And I'm like, wow. And they'd play incredible. They were really good in my opinion. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. And I walk in being like, well, I'm just going to have to consider it a good experience and just have fun.
What do you think YG saw in you?
No, I have no idea. Maybe they could imagine, because I remember they were planning on making this group that eventually turned into Blackpink. And maybe I fit that category, or maybe I think like since I was from Australia, I feel like that was probably something different. And like I was from like a different area. I wasn't even from the US. And back then there weren't many foreign people in these Korean groups.
And then you get the call and you obviously get accepted. You grew up in Australia, but trainees have to live full-time in Korea to do this program. How did you feel when you found out that at 15 years old you were going to have to move to a new country alone? Like, were you scared?
No. I was just excited. I was like, oh my God, this is so exciting. This is like so dramatic. I'm like leaving. I'm like, bye everyone. They're like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know how to explain it.
You're like, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, it felt so special. and then it all just kind of was like, and then reality kicked in.
Was there a moment you can remember where it really sunk in, like, oh my God, this is happening and I'm completely alone. Like my family's gone. I'm 15 years old. Here we go.
I think it was like as soon as they dropped me off. So we got to the building and they were really nice and accommodating to like my whole family. And they showed us around like, this is a recording studio. This will be like da da da. And then we go to the basement where the rehearsal space was. And then they introduced me to the girls and I was like so shy and I'm like, oh my God, this is so fun, but like exciting and scary. And yeah. And then I said hi. And then I remember I turned to my parents and they were outside the room. They're like, all right, we're leaving now. And I remember being like, wait, where are you going? And they're like, well, you have to stay here and now like practice with the girls. And I remember being like, oh, and they were all watching me, so I didn't have time to process it. And then I remember they like, okay, and then they just gave me like a rough hug, and then the door closes, and I remember, so they were all looking at me, and then I rushed to the corner, so the door is at the corner. So the door closes, and then I like put my nose like on the corner, and then I just start sobbing, and then the girls all came around and like hugged me, but I was so scared, like.
Of course, at 15 years old, like, I think the most I could equate it for people in America would be if you went to boarding school as a kid, right? And you get sent away for high school and you go on this excursion for a couple years. What do you think was one of the scariest things back then that you had to like do alone for the first time without your parents once you got into the program?
I think just honestly like understanding the culture and then realizing hierarchy and having to like put yourself somewhere amongst all these people when I don't have any social skills yet. I think that's quite scary. It is, I guess had to do that quite early on and to start navigating, okay, who are the people here that are going to protect me? And are they going to protect me? Or is that just going to be me? And I think that's just a question that obviously potentially doesn't naturally come to a 15-year-old. And just the contrast of having like full family growing up to like none in a day.
You're on your own.
Yeah.
Do you remember a moment that you were like, oh, I thought I could trust this person and that didn't work out so well?
I think like I had trust for like everyone growing up because I mean, I grew up in Australia and like everyone's just, you have your parents as well and you're just in like school and it's protected environments and parents would take me to church and again, protected environments and my parents know everyone that's going to take care of me whenever they drop you off anywhere. But I think slowly realized with that when you're taken away from your parents, I think as a child, you just instantly realize that, oh, like I can't trust anyone. Until like you grow up as an adult yourself and then you know how to protect yourself. That's when you can start, choosing who you can trust. But I think at that time, I feel like I probably realized like for now, I can't trust anyone.
The training process was so intense. And I think there's a lot of people that maybe aren't familiar with it. And it's essentially this 24/7 boot camp where you are training, you are doing singing, dancing, language skills, PR, stage presence. Once you got fully immersed in it and you started taking these classes, like what do you think was the biggest shock to you of all of the training that you were going through?
Well, I guess, but I went at such a young age that I didn't understand the concept of rest. And now that I'm an adult, now I realize, and then what freedom might mean. Because in the past, like, I was just a child. And so like, when they told me to, I'm like, okay. And then now I think about it, to kind of do something like every single day, like with no time off. Like I don't remember from 16 to 20, I don't remember what like hanging out or just relaxing was. I mean, I didn't have any other friends other than the girls that I trained with as well. 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. was our training hours. And then I think it was a bit shocking that we all had to just stay in this big dance studio and this extra small studio and just share it all together. So we'd all have earphones and like iPads and just sit around and find places to like have privacy.
Right, so you kind of didn't have privacy.
We did
essentially.
Not. Yeah. Oh, and so like the only time I noticed that I was alone was when I was in the shower. So I would wake up earlier than anyone just so that I can have 30 full minutes in the shower. I remember I'd just cry in the because I never wanted to show anyone my tears. I don't want to look weak. And so like I remember I'd like cry in the shower and then I'd be like, then I'd walk out and be like, I'm back.
What were you crying about?
I mean, being away from home and just, I guess, yeah. And I was just like also going through being like a teenager and everything. And so I think I remember doing that and just realizing there's no privacy whatsoever. We even shared a big, like the living room was a wardrobe because we didn't have enough space for everybody's clothes because it was the tiniest apartment back then. And so the whole living room was just clothes.
After your debut, you guys all shot to insane levels of global fame overnight. You said in an interview that freedom for you is being anonymous. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, I think I still feel that way. Freedom is like, I mean, the feeling of the opposite of the word kind of feels like, because I'm not anonymous, I guess a lot more people than before recognize me. And so it does kind of stop me from having some experiences. And so I feel like if I were to be anonymous for a day, then I would feel free to do so many fun things.
What do you think you would do? If you could, all the attention, the noise is turned off, no one knows who you are, you're allowed to go anywhere in the world, what would you do?
I would go to like the busiest place on earth and just like walk down and just...
Like where? New York, Seoul?
Yeah, New York, Seoul, or like any like theme park and just walk on the streets and then like, I don't know, that's what so like I still go, but like I like, kind of have to like hide, but I'd look cute first of all. I'd dress cute.
No, like, scarf around your face.
None of that. I dress really cute, and I would go with friends, or this is like the funniest thing. It's been my I don't know if I should say it, but like my dream for a long time is like I've always like from like when I was like I think a teenager dreamed of going to a theme park with a boyfriend.
Rosie. No.
But you know how like we kind of shade the people who are like in love in line? You know how we kind of like, ugh. But I've always wanted to try that.
You're like, I want to do those cute cringe things, like hold hands on like...
And be annoying. And have people be like, oh my God. And be like, well.
And like take cute pictures and like have no one watching you, but like have a moment where you could just be cute and corny and cheesy.
And not have to think about
anyone taking pictures. If anything, you're the only two taking pictures.
Yeah. And we're like,
wow. I know, and how crazy. It's like the world would do anything to see you actually do that. Because they're like, who is it? Who is she with?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, oh my God, maybe you know what? Someone needs to get that for you for like a holiday. Like, shut down the theme park, let you go with a boy, and go and enjoy yourself. Piss on the Ferris wheel.
I'd go home and I'd like write in my journal. Today, I finally...
Dear diary.
Dear diary.
Today, I went on the tilt-a-whirl and we held hands and kissed.
And kissed.
I'm happy. I'm free.
I'm free.
Oh my God, that's adorable.
I know, it's really dumb, but yeah.
It's not dumb. I think you can dream about those little things because you're also still a girl at heart and you're still normal to yourself, right? There's so much you just said that I want to unpack, but I think we should do it over some food. What do you think?
Oh, please. I've actually been really hungry this whole time.
Right? I feel like I have the best tour guide today. I'm like,
oh, yes.
Take me to get some food, Rosie.
Oh my God, there's so many things I can think of right now, and I'm really excited.
Tell me how you picked this place.
Well, I was like thinking, where could I take Alex? So traditionally there are like way more, but I think a lot has kind of disappeared. But usually outside there's like a tent, and they're called 포장마차. And this is the kitchen of it, obviously, so we're not in the tent. But then people used to, like on the streets, there'd be tents. And if you go inside, it's like really warm inside. And like plastic tables, just very like cheap, like furniture and stuff. And a lot of people just, you know, on their way back from work, or they would, you know, stop by for like a drink and some really good Korean food. And I think it's like a really traditional thing. And I haven't actually been to one in a while, and I thought it'd be like a fun experience to kind of come with you, so.
I am honored. I also was thinking, I'm so happy that I'm able to bring you somewhere that obviously you couldn't go normally every day. And yes, we shut this place down, but I also wouldn't have found this myself. So we're both here, and we usually wouldn't be able to come here because I wouldn't have found it, and you can't because you're too famous. So let's cheers to that.
Let's cheers to that.
Okay, what are we drinking?
I think at a place like this, you have to do the somek.
Okay.
And it's just beer with a shot of soju. Here, I'm going to show off my skills. I just learned this skill, so I hope this is going to be great. I literally learned it like last week from my friends. So this is what they did. Let me...
What is this skill?
This is like, they just get 2 soju glasses and measure it like that, and then usually it's like best if you kind of match the line. I am your bartender, basically.
And you mix this with the beer. Is this kind of traditional, like everyone drinks this?
Yes. 어때요? 맞는 것 같아요. I'm asking the cameraman here.
네.
좀 더 안 해도 될 것 같죠?
Wait, what are you asking him?
I'm asking him if he thinks this is a good ratio. Okay. 이만큼? 숟가락 혹시 있나요? Ah! I'll have this one. This one looks good.
Okay.
And,
what makes one look good and one not look good?
I think I did a bit more here. And then I think that's just what they do. I didn't put my mouth on that, so there you go.
So you don't stir it, you just hit it?
I mean, apparently, I think that works.
Okay. There we go.
And then, cheers.
Cheers.
After you start drinking this, I've tried just beer on its own, and it's a bit like boring.
So do you drink this usually if you're going out for a night out?
In Korea, yes.
Okay, and what else are you drinking if you're not in Korea? Are you a tequila girl?
I'm a vodka girl. Tequila tastes like vomit from the worst nights of my life. So I cannot.
Okay, but you've drank it on the worst nights of your life.
As in the best and then worst endings of my life.
So fair. You have to keep it for like special occasions. Okay, we're about to eat a lot of food.
A lot.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
This is keramari, which is like an omelet, basically, with
That looks delicious.
vegetables in. This is kimchi stew. This is gonna keep us warm.
Guys, it's freezing in Korea right now. We're not just being like bougie with our jackets on, we're actually cold.
감사합니다.
Wow.
Oh my God, wait. This is like one of my favorites.
What is this?
It's just dried squid, and then this is a really good sauce.
We'll let this cool off. Let's just start with culture. You left Australia, you moved to Korea, you've talked about how it was a culture shock. Like, you were one of the only Koreans when you were at school in Australia. Then you come to Korea, and it's like, are you Korean enough?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Like, I think I always grew up feeling like I definitely looked different from everyone in my class, and that was fine, but just somewhat felt like a bit different, and my culture at home was different because my parents were both from Korea, and I think moving to Korea, I was very excited, and I instantly thought that, you know, everyone there would be like me, and obviously I haven't grown up here. There was so much to learn from, and I think just like in terms of how people, you know, like when certain people meet for the first time, like manners are different. And in an elevator, like how your manners would be in an elevator, to like buying things over just a counter. And like in all of that, it's like everyone has such different mannerisms, and just like learning from like about all of that was much more difficult than I thought. And yes, there came the question of, am I Korean enough? And I definitely have felt a little bit like, because I'm just purely half, like when I went to school, half very like Australian cultured, and then I'm also very, like not. And then coming here, it was just like, my whole life has been a bit, and I'm sure a lot of people share the same feeling of just trying to figure out where I belong. But lately, because I've been traveling like a lot, I've been traveling to like London, to like New York, to LA, back to Korea, and then like for tour we go to like Asia, like Thailand, and in Japan, and because I'm traveling a lot, I think more and more I do that. I feel like I just belong to myself, and whatever culture I am, it's just a mixture of a bunch of things. And I think late 20s now, I feel much more comfortable. And that's why I love traveling. And I feel like I relate to a lot of people. And yes, I do feel a bit alienated from certain crowds, but I think there's a beauty in that. And there was a time where it hurt a bit, like when you're much younger. But like, you know, that's why I'm really grateful for my job as well, because it, you know, it gives me the
exposes you to all these different cultures.
Yes.
And I think what's so beautiful, which is a good message for anyone listening, is like you at first are just trying to fit in, and you're trying to be like, I'm like this person or this person.
Yeah.
What makes you so beautiful is that you are unique, and you have these different backgrounds that make you who you are, that made you stand out when you did that audition, and YG saw you and thought, oh, this girl should come, right? Like, there's something about it that's also so beautiful, that you bring these different elements into your life, that you have to look at it as a positive. Okay, let's eat.
Shall we?
What is this called?
This is just 오징어, which is squid.
Okay.
And this is 청양고추 mayo, which is like basically saying like chili pepper and mayonnaise.
So we just break it off.
I would usually grab it and then rip it. 이모는 혹시요 이거 찢어주실 수 제 손을 안 씻어가지고.
찢어드릴게요.
I didn't wash my hands, so I just asked her to
rip it for us. Okay.
And then that's just omelet, so you can try that. It's with ketchup, so good old ketchup.
I'm going for the omelet, guys. This is my heaven.
How is the omelet?
It's so yummy. What is this?
Okay, this is pork. That with the okay. This oh my, I'm gonna teach you. So get
Teach
a
me.
piece of lettuce.
Okay.
Just like a big one is fine too, yes. You grab a piece.
Okay.
And you grab a bit of sauce. Like that. 저희 청양고추 좀 썰어주실 수 있을까요? 감사합니다.
Whoa. What?
I'm just really excited. I need to come back here again. It's so funny. I eat the same things every day and I still get excited.
Whenever you come to LA, I'm going to take you to my favorite spots.
Please.
Yeah.
I love that.
I realized that I haven't acknowledged. I started this episode and I referred to you as Rosé.
Oh, yes.
And then now I'm calling you Rosie.
Something happened.
Something happened. Because I think a lot of people are familiar with, you know, pop stars have these alter egos on stage, and then they're also a little bit potentially different behind the scenes. Can you talk about what the difference is between those two personas?
I think, you know, like I started off as, my whole career started as Blackpink, and I feel like it was so much fun creating this character on stage because I'm just from like Australia, like in my bedroom, but like it was so much fun creating this like pop star like character. It was so much fun, and then I think creating my first solo album, it was my discovery of like, you know, who am I? And like when I was naming the album, I really thought a lot about it. There was like options like, you know, #1 girl, and then a lot of people was like, what about Rosie? And at first I was like, it seems a bit like narcissistic. I was worried that I'm like, I'm not sure.
Right.
And then it slowly grew on me, and then, you know, just the idea of it being Rosie, because Rosé has been such a big part of my life, and that's what we present ourselves as, Blackpink Rosé. And I felt like this was very opposite. 감사합니다. 네, 좋아요. And so I noticed that it was closer to kind of introducing a different version of me, like, because it combined all the stories I would talk about with my friends and family. And they call me Rosie at home. And of course, the online name that the company had made for me at the beginning of Blackpink, I remember when it happened. It was like the day before they released my profile picture. They were like, Rosé, and like the name got announced.
And did you get to pick that, or did they come up with it?
They actually came up with it, and I freaked out. It was like, I think it was like 8 hours before it came out. And I was like, what?
I mean, it's a great name, but like...
I love it now.
Right.
But at the time, I was like, what is Rosé? I'm like, at first, I was like, I sound like a grandma. At the beginning, until it like has settled.
But did you know that you were going to have a different name presented, or did you think you were going to be presented as Rosie?
I don't know. I don't think I really thought about that. And everyone called me Rosie. And I guess back then I had no clue about like, I'd never questioned what's my name going to be. I'd never even questioned that. And then they were like, hear me out, Rosie. And then they like typed it on the computer, and they're like, look, it's going to look so cool. And then I saw it on screen, and that's when I was like, okay, it looks nice. You know, yeah. And so, yeah. 감사합니다.
Perfect timing.
Okay.
Oh, wait, we still haven't tried your favorite thing.
That one might be a bit interesting. We'll see if you
What
like that.
do you mean by that,
It's
Rosie?
just dried.
What are you trying to say? Should I go for it?
So it's dry squid.
Okay,
And
dry
then
squid.
I usually just dip it in the green one. It's a bit spicy, so you have to...
Okay.
I don't know how good you are with spicy. I'm not sure.
I think I'm pretty good.
Okay.
I say that in
Wait, take
less.
that big chunk off. Yeah, that might be better.
I feel like I'm not trying to kill you on our first hangout. Okay.
감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다. Oh, it's really hard.
Okay,
You have to chew on it. Chew on
chew
it.
it or rip it.
Chew on it.
chew on
Just
it?
take your time.
Okay. Okay.
You're like, what?
I wasn't ready for that.
It's not that crazy, but it goes really well with beer. You're like, what?
This is why I was so excited for this, though, because I would never have ordered this myself, because I would have been like, what is that? I don't even know what to do with that. And the fact that I now have enough information that I can go to my friends and be like, this with beer
It's amazing.
Oh, that's really interesting. I've never tasted anything like it.
I think if somebody introduced that to me, like, after I grew up, I'd be like, what? But my parents would, like, every time we watched TV together, my mom would, like, get one and then, like, you know, kind of grill it over the stove and bring it, it's, like, nice and warm, and then it'd just be, like, so good.
I want to talk to you about how we don't obviously have this in America, but you are literally referred to as an idol, right? And the pressures that initially come with that culturally when you come to Korea and you become a K-pop star, like, how has that impacted your self-esteem?
I think from a young age, it's just kind of like trained my brain to dream like big. And I think, which is crazy, this is kind of almost happening now, is that like I always kind of thought like I really want to like be as big as like, I don't know, like Beyonce, and I loved her, and like Michael Jackson, and I thought like I'm gonna be big. And then I guess over the years, I think reality kind of hit. Now looking back, I think it means way more to me than I thought it does, and myself and many other girls and kids around the world who are now seeing a bit of a difference in culture. And I think it does excite me, and it scares me a little bit, to be honest. But ultimately, I think it'll just make me really happy if any girl in like high school now just feels like they can go to school and talk about Korean food that they like, or anything different, or the type of music they like. So whatever that music is, even if it's not like the cool thing at school where everybody likes it, even if it's a bit different, then everyone accepts, oh, there are people who like different things, and we're all from the same world, and we're all now connected, you know, with this era of media and technology. I'm grateful to be a part of it, but I think now I'm just like, you know, it's a bit like I'm so flabbergasted.
Well, it's cool too, because what you're essentially saying is you didn't have fully someone of representation that you could look up to as a kid that was diverse in the way of where they came from and what they did and what they were doing and what they wanted, and they weren't vocal about it, and because maybe that there wasn't a platform or there wasn't someone who existed. You're now the girl that you wished you could have looked up to as a young child.
I think so.
And so how cool that you're providing that for young women now. Even if you're different, even if you don't have the same story of the people that you see online, then create your own story and share your own story. And how beautiful is that?
Yeah. And I was just thinking as you were speaking, like, even vice versa, like, even coming to Korea, I think there was a moment where I was like, oh, I wish I went to school here. And I wish I, like, knew the same jokes as all the other girls, and I wish I was as cool as like the girls who went to school here in Korea, because I was just like, I'm like a foreigner. I kind of seem like a foreigner. Like my accent is a little different, and the way I say things isn't as cool as the other girls here. So vice versa, I think there was even a period that while I was here too, like I wished like I was part of like the majority. And so I think it just obviously proves to show that like anyone around the world can feel a bit isolated and a bit alienated. But it's amazing to see so many people like just being given the same platform and given the same flowers that as anyone else has who has achieved something or has done something amazing or has worked really hard on something. And I get nervous thinking about it, and I don't know why. I feel like everything's happening so quick.
Yeah.
But
why? Like you feel like you don't have time to digest it and like kind of
just understand the meaning, like what that means to me. I think I always kind of thought it was very simple. Like if I get up on stage and even the VMAs, you know,
right.
And just I thought it'd be very simple and like straightforward. But I feel like maybe because you know, a lot of different things. Like
it's complicated.
Yeah, who do I want to be for the people that I want to inspire, and what does that mean to me, first of all, like navigating all of that. But just this whole thing has just been really, really incredible to watch.
I also think that, and that's so relatable for a lot of young women and older women, is like, I feel like we're always lost in and torn between feeling comfortable in our own skin, feeling like an other in a room, like you said, feeling like you wished you could relate to those girls, but now that's actually your superpower that you had this advantage of. But at the time when you feel like the other, there's nothing worse than that. But then when you look back and you have the perspective of what how that made you special and unique, you wish someone would tell you that in the moment. So I think sometimes we're trying to come to the conclusion of anyone watching and listening of like, why do I feel alienated and why do I feel alone and how do I make sense of this? And it's like, sometimes you really just have to live through it and not try to overcomplicate it and just let yourself be in your emotions. And a lot of times it just has to be perspective, lived experience, right?
I agree.
But we all are so understandably insecure and we want to fit in because
we're human.
Yeah, we're human.
We just want to feel normal.
And here we are from such different cultures and such different backgrounds. And I feel like already being in Korea, I was so excited to immerse myself in this culture and learn about you. And I feel like there's so many similarities that I find between us as human beings.
And to feel like home wherever you are, just as long as people connect like that, I think it's really magical and I feel really grateful.
I wanted to thank you for inviting me to your show this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, to anyone who doesn't know, Rosie has a Blackpink concert this weekend, which I'm going to be going to. And so I thought it would be fun for us to maybe head to your recording studio and talk a little bit more about the magic behind how this album came to be. So I think we finish eating and then we get into it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yay!
Listen, Daddy Gang, winter is here. I know it's freezing out there, and I know the sun is setting insanely early, but hear me out. Just because we have to throw a couple extra layers on doesn't mean we can't still enjoy ourselves, right? And that includes finding some time to crack a few claws with our friends. Whether you're at your favorite dive bar, warming up in the crowd at a concert, or just having friends over to, watch a football game, the best winter nights are really just about doing something together. Personally, I love getting together with my friends in the winter because it's an excuse to make every hangout even cozier. I'm talking blankets out, fuzzy socks on, and White Claws in hand. There is nothing better than sitting by a fire with your friends, catching up all night long, and never leaving the house. So pick up a pack from your favorite local spot and grab life by the claw with your favorite flavor this winter. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Oh my gosh, it looks exactly like your senior. This is so good. I feel like
We're in Los
LA.
Angeles. We have your gorgeous, famous dog with us today. Your mom's just going to talk about a couple things about her album and then you'll be done. Tell me about what headspace you need to be in to be your best in the studio.
I just need to not think. Personally, the last album, I realized that it was so much more free-flowing in the studio when I was just myself fully. I feel like everybody has stories to tell on like a day-to-day basis. And like usually you would maybe talk to your therapist about it, or you'd talk to your boyfriend about it, or you'd talk to your best friend about it. But I'd kind of save that. And anytime I felt something, felt like speaking my mind, I would quickly find a studio and the people that I love to work with and just pop in, and I would just, kind of let it out there just so that, for the last album, so that it feels very intimate and so it feels like a journal.
A lot of times when you write something down in the exact moment, you may not feel that way tomorrow, right? So to be able to capture exactly how you were feeling in that moment, it's important.
No, I agree. I actually have thought about that recently, as in listening back to some of these songs, I'm kind of shocked because there was obviously a time in my life where but this was a really big subject. But now I think about it, I'm like, wait, oh yeah, no, I think I remember. But if I listen to the songs, it was such a thing.
And you were so affected by it.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of like, oh, that thing.
But to imagine that these things just get lost in time. There's an unreleased song that I heard randomly. I was getting my makeup done for like something, and I was like, what happened to that one song? And then I searched it on my phone, and I found it, and I played it, and I remember I almost cried because I was like, oh my God, I was really serious about that, and I almost forgot. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. Next.
Why didn't you release a song?
I wrote it after the album. It's more like a recent thing.
Oh my God, would you ever release it?
That one I would love to. It is one of my favorite ones. And then I only realized that it was such a special song months after. I remember when I wrote it, I was like, oh, it's a bit cringe. That's what I thought in the moment. So it was obviously too vulnerable at the time. I was like, oh, I don't know. It's just too sweet. And I don't know. I don't like it. But then I heard it again months later when I was completely over that. And I was like, oh my God.
Right? Like, it's so sweet and honest to what you were going through.
And I was just like, I almost forgot about that.
Wow. Okay, we're going to get into all of this. Late 2023, Blackpink took a break so that you and all the other women could pursue their own careers. What were those behind the scenes conversations like?
Well, we kind of had like a time frame to kind of decide what we're going to do. And, we had fans waiting to hear about how things are going to be after that long contract ended. And so I remember we were on tour then, the last tour. So there were a lot of times we were like, together. We were like on flights together. And it didn't happen over like one conversation. It happened over a few, and it evolved. And I think we allowed each other enough time to, kind of really think through what we as a group and individually want. We still have a few things we need to do as Blackpink, and we have to have more time to celebrate the things we've achieved. But we are also growing up right now, and we haven't had enough time to be fully ourselves or explore that ever. We weren't really allowed that. And so we allowed ourselves that 1 year and to see all the things that all the members have accomplished. It's really fun to watch. And I think
Were you guys nervous to tell the fans?
I don't think so, because we had the plan to be back, and we're on that tour right now, the promise that we had made. I think it was such a healthy decision that we were more excited to announce that.
Obviously, there's so much speculation because I agree, like everyone kind of knew that was a long contract, and then to re-sign a contract, I think obviously so many of your fans were so excited, understandably. I don't know how much you can share, but like, is it longer? Is it shorter than the first one? Can you give us any details?
I don't know about length, but for sure we learned much more.
Yes.
About the things we should really like focus on for the benefit of the whole business. And so, yes, it took much longer than the first contract. I don't even remember doing the first one. Like, when did we even do that? We just like sat down and
signed your name.
Yeah. Did we even read? Nope. I'm sure we did not read through anything. But I do know that there are a lot of other people who do sign things early on in their career without that. So, now even more, we're more aware and we understand the weight of signing these things as musicians, and again, about protecting yourself.
Of course, because it also comes with experience, right? Like, sure. I have signed contracts myself, and I remember when I was so young, like, you don't know what you want with your career, you don't know where you're going, and I think what's so beautiful is you guys having this time to have your independence. You've also grown as individuals, and so you're now able to advocate for yourselves in a way that you maybe weren't capable before.
I agree.
Have you guys ever talked about what would happen if one of you didn't want to continue in Blackpink?
I think don't remember like specific conversations, but no, I think yeah, if one of us feels like at that time that's not the right thing, then we're all in. We will understand, and Blackpink, like any relationship, if one person is not ready for something, then it should just be respected. And I think we will always be ready to do that because Blackpink is only 4 members, first of all. So we will not be able to neglect anyone's, decision at any time in their life. And we trust that every decision made is, the right decision for each person. So, yeah.
Okay. Fans are constantly, I feel like they do this to every group, but like they're always speculating, obviously, of like, what is the group's dynamic? And are you guys sisters? Are you best friends? Are you just coworkers? Like, what's the vibe? Like, I want to hear from you. How would you describe your relationship with the women in Blackpink today?
I think it's all of that. I feel like we're best friends, we are sisters, we're like family, we are colleagues. What else did you say? What else was on the table? Yeah. It's really all of that combined. I do agree that it is a very unique relationship that we have, but over time more layers have been added on to the type of relationship we have. But even more so, I think it feels more solid. And as I've actually had that 1 year apart from the girls, which we were very much apart, everyone was so busy flying around the world, like we couldn't tell who was where. We've also created unique experiences outside of Blackpink after sharing all of that together and growing together. We all went out and experienced the world individually past that. But to come back with those experiences, there's nothing better to feel like there's somebody that understands exactly how you might have felt or what you feel. And it is a unique experience, as everyone has their own, but just knowing that even my actual family doesn't understand what I feel sometimes, or even my best friend doesn't see the world exactly how I've seen it. But, there's so much in my life that Blackpink understands. And so it's so nice to meet the girls along the way of this whole journey and being able to talk about things and feel like I'm being heard and understood. And I don't have to make it up. I don't have to explain over hours about why I'm feeling this type of way. And I feel like that's just going to keep growing over the years.
Did you have the girls listen to the album before it came out?
We were so apart when that happened. I let Lisa listen to a few when I was in Korea and she was in Korea. I'm like, thank God you're here.
What was her reaction?
She loved 3 a.m. It was named something different back then. We were traveling so much and then I met Jenny once in New York.
Wait, what was 3 a.m. called before 3 a.m.?
Want It to Be You.
Okay, let's talk about the album. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Grammys are coming up. You are Grammy nominated. How are you feeling?
Oh, wait, that's a big question.
I know.
I was like, wait.
You're talking about Lisa and 3 a.m. Then I'm like, yeah, hi, we're Grammy nominated. How are you feeling?
It feels like I thought of this when you asked me about getting selected from YG at that open audition to fly to Korea, and I was trying to and then it made me think. I think it's the same feeling as this nomination. I remember when that happened, it was I thought that would never happen. I never thought I would ever fly to Korea and live in that city, ever. I always kind of dreamed of oh, it'd be so fun to live in Korea. I grew up in New Zealand and Australia, so just living in Asia and that city is just so fun and different. Thought it would never happen, and going there to chase after my dreams, how fun. And then again, this Grammy nomination, it feels oh my gosh, I never thought that would be possible. Yes, Blackpink, and we're getting so much love, and I'm so grateful for that, and it's so exciting. But that I didn't think it would be a possibility. But I feel like they're quite similar. So it's like the second chapter of my life, being like, oh my gosh.
It's really exciting and it's incredible what you've done. And to come out with the solo album, be Grammy nominated for the songs, like it's incredible and you should be so proud of yourself.
Hey, thank you.
I want to ask about your song Number One Girl. In a lot of interviews, you've obviously referred to the song as disgustingly vulnerable. Talk to me a little bit more about what you meant by this.
Well, this one was about, like, I'm sure you go to a lot of events when you're in LA. There are like so many fun, exciting events that you feel so lucky to be invited to, and it's like so glamorous and fun. But I was like invited to an event, and it was at the very beginning of this 1 year, before this 1 year like started. And I went to the event, and I felt like just really like I was in a place that was supposed to feel so glamorous and exciting. I felt really like I was comparing myself to everyone. I didn't know how to act. And I remember coming back home feeling really depressed and like, ugh, I don't feel very special or good. And then the next day, I remember I just like cried in the hotel. And then I was like on Instagram.
Oh, that's literally the worst combo. You're crying and then you're like, let me open Instagram. Then you're like,
yeah.
That just made it worse.
Yeah. And there were like comments. Like there were comments about like, where is she going with her career? She hasn't announced this or that. Like she has no idea what she's doing. And I had just started the year to like, I'd gifted, you know, with the group, we've gifted ourselves this time to be free and explore and really kind of just for myself, I think, I don't know. I feel like I can't speak for the other girls, but for me, I think I was looking for what my passion was again and what made me really happy and driven and excited. And it hadn't even started, but that's what I saw. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel terrible. I remember in the morning I had a session that day and I was getting ready and I remember like I couldn't put my like makeup on because I was like, it was a bad day, you know? We go through it once in a while.
Of course.
Yeah. And then I got to the studio and they were like, what should we write about? I'm like, I don't know. I've just been feeling really, really bad. Like I feel really, really I feel shit basically. And it sparked. I was like, can we write a song that's, because I know a lot of songs can kind of have hope in it and have these hopeful feelings in it, but that's not how I felt. And I needed a song that I could relate to. Because a lot of the times I want to be presented to my fans as like, I'm independent. I don't need people's approval. I'm my own thing. We love to be that way, but it's not really realistic.
That is why your fans were so receptive of this, because yes, it could be considered as a human being. You're like, is this embarrassing? I'm wanting this validation and I'm wanting this attention. And I think it's such a relatable feeling, but it's something that we keep really close to our chest and we're embarrassed sometimes to admit.
I was so embarrassed of myself. That was the day I think I woke up and I was like, oh my God, I feel so embarrassed. Like, I don't feel confident at all, but like how embarrassing. I was on Instagram all night looking at these comments and I felt embarrassed that I had let those emotions really affect me.
How do you think for you personally, your desire for validation and acceptance has impacted the way that you let people treat you?
I have let people get away with, I think, a lot of things that has made me sad and like has made me cry. I think I let a lot of things make me really, really sad, but I've noticed this thing where I sometimes protect people and I don't know why. I think I'd like to think I have a lot of love for certain people in my life, but to a certain extent that I want to be validated by them, and then their actions of making me actually sad or feel sad is forgiven, and I turn that around and I understand them, and then I would probably blame myself. I'm still living through that. I'd like to think that's because I'm still in my 20s, and hopefully people say when you turn 30, then like things start to make sense. So I'm just hoping that kicks in soon.
You're like, I feel like in a couple of years, it's really going to turn around for me. No, that's relatable.
Please.
It's like, you can't, please, if you're up there, please. Let's talk about a major theme that I do think relates to this, which is in your album, is toxic relationships, right? You open up about some of the toughest moments that you've been through in your life, essentially. How was writing about these feelings healing for you?
I think, first of all, even in therapy, I feel like the main thing the therapist kind of makes you do is acknowledge your emotions. But a lot of emotions, I feel like, is kind of looked down on. And that's a good thing, because online and on media, like we're encouraging each other to love yourself more and accept yourself more and be confident in yourself. Like, don't be sad, be confident, be a boss girl, right?
Sounds so easy.
Yeah, sounds very easy. No, it's obviously not. And so I feel like, first of all, being just true to how I really felt. And I didn't know if it was easy, because it was my first time in LA and I didn't really know anyone. I kind of just like talked about anything and everything. I might be more conscious about it now, but at that time, I just like talked about everything. Like, I would be like, oh my gosh, I did this and I did that. And honestly, I feel this and that. And it'd just be funny. I'd make fun of myself, but it was just true. And so as I did that, I was accepting my flaws. And so funny, because over time, now when I do that, I realize I do become more conscious, because I want valid, I have that in me too. When I talk about some like certain themes or like some certain subjects, I do kind of go like maybe I shouldn't feel that. Maybe I should act more sophisticated. Maybe I should act a bit more like I have more self-respect, because sometimes I don't. But I think that's
relatable. So real.
Yeah. And of course, a lot of the times I do love and respect myself. But then like, sometimes like I'm still growing up and kind of navigating the world of like, wanting to be loved.
Of course.
I have sometimes, abandoned some of these things. And yes, later on, I could regret it. Like a more mature version of myself, a more experienced version of myself could be like, Rose, you don't need to be like that. But I feel like in the moment, like I'm still learning and growing. But then so like in these songs, that's me just being, accepting that emotion for what it is and laughing about it at the same time, but not being conscious of like what other people would be thinking about me.
But I think that's why people were so receptive of this album, because I feel like you've spent the majority of your career, we saw you trying to be this perfect girl, right? And there was an image that was upheld. With that, I think then your fans would assume, like, there's no way this girl has experienced heartbreak, or there's no way that Rosie would get herself into a toxic relationship. Like, she's better that. And it's like, no, we've all been there. So I think it was a breath of fresh air probably for your fans to be like, oh my God, you too?
I think it felt really liberating just talking about it and being reckless. Because anyone who really like cares or loves me might be like, Rosie, just don't say that. People might think you're a bit of a wreck. But I kind of didn't care, and I felt so liberated. But the funny thing is, even after feeling so free, I think I have come out of it and I still experience the shame of like, I do feel this, but then I like say it and then I go, is that person going to think I'm like, I don't have enough self-respect? I really want to like stop doing that, but it's a habitual thing where I try to keep filtering the things I say. I feel like society also kind of makes you feel that shame.
Yes, feel bad. Like, why aren't you better? Why didn't you leave? Why did you stay for so long? I wrote down that in one of your songs, you talk about knowing the relationship was unhealthy from the beginning. That is so relatable. But you're like, wait, but like it also feels good sometimes. For you, what were the signs that it was toxic?
I mean, I was young too. It was just not a good match. But we liked each other, so we were just kept it going for a bit. And yeah, I think it's just like now I know a bit better than that to identify we might not be very happy together, maybe, but
I also think, again, having grace is like so many young women will be listening to this, and it's like the feelings of love and happiness, they bring you back even if there is something toxic or there is a red flag, right? It's like, because then you move forward and you forget the red flag, because then you go to dinner and then you're happy.
Still experience that, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, girl, this is happening to me right now. Thank you. Full therapy session. What is something you know you will never put up with again?
First of all, if they're kind of like not being like super nice to your friends or family, as in, I think they should make an extra effort.
People that are not good to your friends and family, I agree. Ladies, if you're watching this, like, please note that you're not being crazy and your friends and family aren't being crazy, because sometimes they can convince you oh, you know, so it's like, no.
Yeah, like if I've introduced this girl as my best friend, she's my best friend. You can't be like, I was busy talking to other people. She's my best friend.
Put in the work.
Yeah, because I would, if I meet anyone that's, you know, my boyfriend's best friend, I'd be like, oh my God, I want to be extra nice to that person because I care. So it's very weird if somebody's like, it just means he's either thinks he's really amazing or he doesn't really respect you.
Yeah.
Or hasn't learnt how to respect a partner.
I agree. One of your favorite lyrics you wrote was, that I wrote down from your album, was, did letting me down get tiring? How in your life in past relationships have you felt let down?
All the exes. Yeah, I don't think all of the exes, maybe.
No, Rosie.
I mean, let down. Let me think. All of them except one.
You're like, girl, we're a work in progress. Okay. Yes, we've talked a little bit about the themes from your album, and they did give a little insight into your dating life, but I recognize that you have never been in a public relationship. Why do you think for you keeping partners completely private is the right approach for you right now?
I think a lot of it has to do to protect the person that I love. I've noticed that it hurts more if like any of my friends are attacked, or the closer the person is, if they're ever attacked, it really, really is like hurtful. And also I am okay because I'm in the public eye and it's my job and it comes with the territories, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But you know, I think it's a bit unfair, but I not saying like I'm against it, but like for now, with the like fan base that I've experienced, which I would love to in the future, maybe really fully trust the media to protect me and be there for me, then I might feel comfortable. But for now, I don't know if I felt completely safe. I'm sure a lot of other people understand what that feels like and experiences that.
I think that's really understandable. I'm curious, had someone feel like you're hiding them? Because I could see that if like then the partner's like, wait, are you just keeping me private because you don't want to share me with the world? Or have they been understanding?
I think it's been like a two-way thing, like both ways. I think one of the toxic ones.
Yeah. That's like, I feel like how every conversation starts. So one of the toxic ones, actually, I'm like,
yeah, because there are some toxic ones, not toxic ones. There are some where like you feel where that's coming from, like the protecting, you know, element of it, and I believe it. But there was one, if I think about it, now I look back on it and I'm like, why were you so paranoid? Like what?
You're like, wait, you're not the superstar over here.
No, I can like say it like that now, but I'm like, I do kind of look back and be like, wait, Cause I think I was younger then. I was more younger and like more, I guess more insecure. And I was just very like, I'm like in love and whatever. But then anytime he'd be like, oh, like even like to his friends, he'd be like, oh, I'm just going to go like hang out with my friends. And like, it's just, I don't want to have you there because it's like, and he'd make it seem like he's trying to like limit like talk or whatever. But I'm like, why did you need that?
You're like, but again, that's what we're talking about, right? Yeah. You're like, in hindsight, you're like, that doesn't make sense.
At that time, I thought he was really serious about his job. And I was like, that's hot.
Rosie.
I was like, you're so serious about it that, no, and then some people are, and I really respect it because, you know, for the things that you want to do, we don't have to have, I don't feel that way either. We don't have to have our like love life involved in it. And I respect that because I feel that a lot of the times too. But then with that guy, he was like overly like, no, we can't do like anything. Like we can't go anywhere. Now I think about it, I'm like, sure we could have done. I've met people after you who are way more like higher profile than you. That was just like, that would do crazier, like, you know, more things with me. And I'd be like, you're not. And I remember the first time they would want to do things, I'd be like, you're okay with that? And I was so gaslighted, being like, you're okay with doing that? And they're like, why not? And I'd be like,
oh, because I learned from this other ex that like we couldn't do
anything.
Dude, that's so real though when you have exes to compare to where all of a sudden you're like, wait a second.
Yeah, why are you okay with it?
That wasn't normal.
Yeah.
But in the moment you convince yourself, here you are, Rosie, you're convincing yourself he cares about his job so much.
I was like, oh my God, he cares about, that's so hot. I was like,
no. And now you're like, wait, I was fully getting gaslit and he was fully acting like, no, that is, but again, it's so real. It's so relatable. Like, you don't even have to be famous to be in this situation where a girl is like, dude, I'm in high school, I'm in college, and this kid like won't bring me to the party. And I'm thinking it's because like he's protecting me. Meanwhile, it's like, babe, he may have a side girl that he doesn't want you knowing about or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And then you put two and two together and you're like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna let that happen to me again.
Yeah. I still can't tell why he... I don't know. It's weird. Okay.
Like, I'm gonna write that in my journal tonight and try to do that math equation and figure that one out soon. Okay. How have you avoided getting your picture taken with a man and paparazzi and all of that?
Oh my gosh.
You're good. You're good.
I've had some crazy ones. I once was so paranoid. Wait, oh my God, no.
What?
I was so paranoid. I'm like, I can never be like, you know, seen ever. And like, I ordered online from like, it's basically like Amazon, but in Korea.
Are you going to tell me you got a wig?
I got a wig. I got a black curly wig, like a short one. And then I ordered like, I studied how like older people, like elderly women would dress on the street. Like I'd be like, okay, they wear that kind of a skirt and then those shoes and that kind of a bag. And I would like study it and I would order it. And I dressed up.
And then you would go on a date looking like an older woman?
I would go like to his house, like, because we can't go anywhere. Like
I'm dead.
I would like travel that way. Just in case I did that once. And
wait, so then would you show up to his house and then like rip the wig off and the granny like on here?
I'd be like,
I've arrived. And he's like, can you take off your prosthetic nose and your wig and your granny panties? Like, can you get back to Rosie for a second? You fully are walking in like an 80-year-old woman.
Like, and so like for a while in my house, you know, we got rid of it now, but like I had like a whole section of just grandma clothes because I went wild. I just ordered like all cut like light blue, like flowery skirt, but like all like long skirts so that I could cover all my elements.
How long did this phase of dressing up like a granny last?
I think at least 6 months.
Rosie, you were committed.
I was so committed to keep the secret.
Did he ever dress up like a grandpa to go to your house?
I think he kind of did. Yeah, like a little more grandpa-ish, but not as crazy as like a wig because I needed a wig. And then I think at one point, like I even imitated how they would walk.
When we stop this, I need you to show me how you are.
Oh, and the funniest thing, I don't even know if I should say this. This is so funny. I met my grandma the other day, and I was looking at what she was wearing, and I'm like, and then I go to my mom, I'm like, Mom, is that the? And she's like, oh my God, it is. And she's like, that's her favorite coat. She was wearing one of the ones that I would wear.
Rosie?
And Mom's like, I go, is that the? And she's like, it is. That's her favorite coat. And I was like, I'm dying.
Once you're over your granny phase, your mom was like, okay, Rosie, can I at least now give this to your actual grandmother so she can put this to good use?
After I broke up with that ex, I moved on to it. And like, I had a new one. And then she said, you're not going to wear this anymore, are you? And then I'm like, nope.
We're turning over a new leaf. I'm going to actually show up to his house looking like my damn self. That is iconic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you prefer to date someone in the industry or not in the industry?
In. Wait, what? I'm so, okay. In only because.
They get it.
Yeah. There was like a phase where, because from 16, I'm just like not even fully formed human being yet, going to this dorm like full time in that space, and everyone I meet is just related to that, to whatever I'm doing. You know, I only met teachers, I only met other girls that were training with me, I only met like the producers there like every day. From that to like coming out as like Pink, when I would meet like even like cousins, I would kind of feel like I don't know how to act. And more than that, I think because I don't know what the experience is, because everyone just usually goes to school, goes to college and whatnot, has like somewhat of a similar, you know, experience growing up. But I would like meet people and I'd be like, I don't know what you're thinking, and their expressions, and I was just really just,
you didn't trust them.
Yeah. And I was just like inexperienced, even like meeting new people and talking about things, and I'd always feel like such an alien. They'd talk about like all these things and I'd be like, I don't know how to relate to it. All I know is, you know, what I've done.
Work,
yeah.
right.
Like 3 years ago, I was like in a dorm, and that's the only thing I know how to share, and also like being private and stuff, like going out, and like how I always feel really conscious. Like I'd be out at a restaurant and I'd always be like, oh, I think somebody's taking a picture, and then somebody being like, I don't think they're taking a picture, but then me feeling like sensitive about that. I didn't blame them, I would blame myself. I'd be like, I am so paranoid that I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. So even with that, I'd felt kind of like a bit of a distance growing up. And so partners too, I think, for me to feel fully just natural and like, so if anything, that guy being like, we can't be, I'd rather relate to that being like, rather than like, why aren't we going out? Like, why aren't we?
Post me on your Instagram.
Yeah, that would freak me out even more.
So true.
So I think I felt more, if anything, more safe in that one. I'd rather be more controlled that way because, you know, I relate to that feeling.
So now we just need to find a non-toxic guy in the industry.
Yes.
That's the goal.
So easy.
So easy.
Let's
like
go.
There's so many of those. Perfect.
I'm free like next week, so
perfect. I'll let you know if I have anyone in mind.
Thanks, babe.
Are you seeing anyone right now?
Oh my God.
You almost just flung off the chair.
Because I just feel like if I'm like, no, I'm like, oh, such a lie. You can tell. I am looking for love.
Okay, so maybe you're talking to someone.
Do you think it's really funny how I react to these questions?
Rosie,
is
you
it really
just physically clung onto the side of the chair. You moved your body away from the microphone. You looked at your best friend for dear life and you were like, tell me what to say. And I'm like, you know what? But I respect it because you can tell, like, you've come into this industry. You were trained to, you know, be a specific way. You've worked so hard. You've been private. And so I get it. Like, to answer a question of like, are you seeing someone right now? You're like, Wait, am I allowed to
I'm
answer
still
that?
like, oh my God, this is like, the first thing when you ask something like that, it's like all the articles, all the comments, I just see it like roll down, and who has like been plotting my downfall, being like, this is the comment we take so if anything happens, this is the interview we go back to tie this crazy story about how addicted to for example. Like, that's all I think about. So I would love to just be like, yes or no, like, but being like, is this going to define who I am? How sad. How sad of a reality is that? That makes me sad. It makes me sad for like a lot of the industry and how, oh my God, stop. This is gross. No. I'm only sad because it's like, oh my gosh, no. I feel like it's just like a normal thing. Just because I was from a K-pop group doesn't mean I am a different type of human being. I think we're all born with legs and arms, and everyone's human. And I feel like just how certain things, like, I have to, not because it's me, but a lot of other people too have to like think about that, and me being a girl and what that means to me. How will people try to use my comments to create something? And it's not like I'm saying the craziest thing right now.
No.
Am I saying like I killed someone? No.
No, I'm just asking if you're seeing someone,
Right?
not even if you have a boyfriend. Like, do you have someone that you're currently texting that whether you have a crush on or whatever it be? I guess my question back to you, though, when you just got emotional there, which makes me sad for you too, is like, at what point do you think that you can find a way to almost just live for yourself and be like, you know what? Yes, I'm seeing someone right now. And if the comments come, but you also have to live your own life. And you, like, I think it puts in perspective when I sit with my grandmother, right? Or my husband's great grandmother. And you hear these older women, especially, say like, I lived so much to please people and to be humble, so I didn't come off as too much or whatever. And I just wish, like, why did I do that? We are alive once, we're here once. Like, yes, it's so incredible what your career is, but like, how are you fulfilled in hiding so much, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
will there be a point where maybe you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Like,
but that's why I feel like writing that album made me feel closer to that. And oh my God, like, a lot has actually changed. After Number One Girl, I'm not joking, but there were so many people online who would tell me what to do with the way I put my makeup on, the way I was dressed on stage. They would like harass my hair and makeup team online. See, again, those people are people I love and that work with me, and that's part of my team, and those are my best friends too. But I've felt like the ache when people online, I feel like they know what they're doing. Like they're really mean to them, and that like affects me. And they'd be like, do this to your hair, do that to your hair. Why are you not doing this and that? I got closer to it because after Number One Girl came out, that happened. But after I explained the song, my team has not been getting comments like that anymore. And I remember it was such a big chunk of all of the girls relate to it, because we would talk about the stress of that, like weird controlling of like kind of like like a mom, like one of those cheerleading. What do you call it?
Like a cheer mom.
Cheer mom. What do you call them?
Yeah, like a stage mom.
A stage mom
who's like, do this and look like this.
But you have like thousands online, millions being like, girl, I love what you do, but please change your da da da. And you're like,
wait, I like that little accent you just did. You went full Valley Girl on me. You're like, girl, you better get your shit together.
Yeah, girl, I love you, but come on. Those are not the shoes you want. Like that. And they would like do that, but my team hasn't been getting any of those comments, and I haven't had any pop up. And so after the album, one thing I love is that I'm not conscious about if my fans will like or dislike my look today. And for such a long time of my Korean Blackpink, I was so like, insecure and conscious about what my fans would say. They'd always be like, put a full red lip on. Why can't you do your makeup? And I'm like, maybe I don't feel comfortable in that. Maybe that's not fully me. Maybe that's somebody else. Maybe some big celebrity online does that and looks amazing and feels amazing that way. But maybe when I do it, I don't feel amazing. So it's just like,
you're living a really heightened experience as a human being right now. You are figuring this out. There is no book that anyone handed you to be like, this is exactly how you get through this, Rosie. When I go back to your comment about freedom is being anonymous, what you're really just saying is freedom is people not being able to dictate if you feel comfortable to acknowledge that you're in a relationship or not, or if you are having a bad day or not. But I love, though, that one thing that you learned through this album is that actually being vulnerable and honest gave insight to people and allowed them to be like, oh, I'm not going to make that comment again. And maybe that next step for you could be allowing yourself to enjoy your romantic life and not being afraid that maybe people will come for you and that person. And that, who knows when that you'll be ready for that.
yeah.
But maybe one day you'll be ready.
I don't think we're fully there yet, because I can tell we come back to the, toxic ways. The media always finds its way back, but it gives me hope. It gives me hope. I really thought that me coming out of this, industry, where I've come from, I didn't think I'd have hope. I thought, okay, I'm forever going to live in this system where I can't fully accept the way I am, because they will twist and turn it. But I see a bit of hope, and I'm really, really happy about that.
I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Should we go get a drink?
Please.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Cheers.
Oh,
again.
cheers.
We're back. First of all, we need to talk about your song, Apate.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right?
Yes, Apate.
What was the moment you personally knew that this song was going to be a phenomenon?
I think it kind of slowly, I slowly warmed up to it, because when we first created it, I went home and I listened to it all night till I had it on repeat.
Right.
And it's quite a crazy song to have on repeat.
Yes.
I slept to it,
You slept to it?
Yeah, I
It
slept
just kept playing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're a psychopath. You're
Right?
again.
Right? And
Rosie.
then in the morning, I had my producers and songwriters delete it off of their phones.
I read this somewhere. Okay, yeah.
And I still to this day don't quite know what it was that made me do that. I don't know if it was fear or something, or did I feel like it was big, or did I feel a bit scared of it? I'm not sure, but I feel like I'm just guessing, but I feel like it might have had something to do with the fact that it's so close to my culture, and I felt like it sounded big, but I wanted it to be right before people just had it on their phones, and
so nothing got misinterpreted, or if you needed to fine tune anything, you had the ability and it didn't just get sent out.
Yes, because it had a big part of my culture in it, but I'm not sure if I fully believed in it yet, because it was as it is, it's kind of when everyone listens to it, especially from the beginning, it's a Korean chant, and you're what's happening? And then the song starts, and then the chorus, we're just saying some random words. And so I wasn't sure. So I got rid of it. And then slowly I started bringing it out and playing it to people that I trusted and that I loved. And they really reacted to it. It's so funny, because there are so many songs that has become the main songs, but every time I feel like it's something like that, I seem to hide it. And then I would play like 10 songs. And then at the end I'd be like, oh, this is just rough. This is like, we were just like messing around. You might not like it. And I'd play it. And that's usually like the songs that like people seem to love, which is weird.
Okay, but do you think it's because in your heart it's so good and then you're almost downplaying it to see if like, do I think it's just this good?
Okay, maybe.
And you're like testing to see like, oh, this is just a little thing. And you're like, am I the only one that thinks this? And then you see the reaction. You're like, I was right. Oh my God, I have something on my hands here.
I need to be convinced by people instead of me hyping it up first. Right. I think I get scared of how I feel about it. So I don't want to hype it up. I just want to see people's like raw maybe you're right. You're literally my therapist. No. Honestly.
We're trying. We've been trying today. And can you clarify for anyone who maybe is not familiar with the Korean culture and apate, like what is this chant and what does it mean? And what is the significance?
So it's just like, so when I turn 20, it's like a cultural thing where your friends who are already 20, or over 20 would like get you in a room and be like, today's the day you die from a hangover. And they will literally make you the craziest drink because, you've just waited your whole life. And I even remember the day I turned 20, Blackpink got me and Lisa and I turned 20 the same year. As soon as the year turns, like January 1st, you're allowed to drink. So everybody like gets together and, we did that too. Us four were in the dorm and they were like, get ready, girls. It was the wildest night. And then like, that's when we like played the drinking games and it literally has been a part of my like 20s living in Korea.
Who else is on your list of dream people you could collaborate with? Anyone?
Oh my gosh.
Give me like 3.
That's
Top 3
way
people.
Too hard.
Okay, 2.
You know what? Now, I see Miley on the screen. I would die to have a collaboration with her. She is
iconic.
Literally a legend. I love her so much.
You said that you met Taylor Swift, and when you met her, you wanted to ask her some questions. What advice did she give you?
I was like, so that was when I was like trying to look for a label and everything. But before that, I was learning about, how to protect myself. What does everything mean? What is it that I need? Even catered to myself. What is it that I want? And therefore, what do I need? I was navigating all that and, I was really I'm grateful enough to have like met her along the way at a party, that I was invited to and she was so nice, like, as she is. And, we were chatting and I explained why I was, out in the US and then I was like, oh, I was kind of struggling with this. And she's like, ask me anything. And she like, pulled me aside. And she's like, ask me anything. She was like, whenever you need anything, like ask me. And she was really, really, really helpful.
When did you find out that you were Grammy nominated and what was your reaction?
I remember I was in Korea. I had just gotten home. And then like I brushed my teeth, was in my like PJs, like fully. And then I look at the time. And then I remember somebody from my team being like, oh, the nominations are coming out at 1 a.m. your time. And I don't think, because I've never really experienced this before. Now I know, like, to mark it in my calendar. It was kind of like, I'm like, oh, okay. So I go back into like the text and there was a link. And so like, it was 12:50 a.m., 10 minutes away. And I was like, oh, and then I just like turned the TV on and put in the link. And then I was like, and then it started. And I'm like, okay. And then I get a FaceTime from my team and my sister. And then I'm like, okay. And then like a category comes out and I'm like, should we just group call? And we did like a group FaceTime. And then it just happened in like 5 minutes. And it was just like, oh my gosh, wait, I almost missed that. But did that just happen? And then it was done it was done so quick. And I'm like, okay. I was going to go to sleep. So I slept. I went to my bed. I slept. And then I woke up to like, tons of messages from people that, were so excited. And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh, wait, this is crazy.
So exciting. I'm so excited for you. I think that we sing karaoke to close out this incredible day. And then after we sing karaoke, I think we go to Tokyo and I watch you do the real thing on stage.
What a crazy life.
What
we
a
sound
crazy
really
life.
like, let's go to Japan.
Let's just go to Japan.
Call Her Daddy is brought to you by Tinder. Daddy Gang. I know meeting someone on a first date can obviously sometimes be extremely intimidating, but going on first dates just got way more fun, okay? Because now you do not have to do it alone. Tinder's new double date feature lets you and your bestie team up, match together, and find a pair that fits both your vibes. Just tap the double date icon in the app and you'll see profiles built for two. When two pairs match, the whole crew connects and the group chat begins. Double date is a new way to keep the chat fun and is a low pressure way to meet people. I personally am obsessed with this new feature for my friends. Honestly, I'm sad that it wasn't around when I was dating, okay? But you and your best friend can scope profiles together, be a little creep, go around, creep around, look up what they're up to, and then you can have group chats with these potential dates and keep the energy high when you're out together. Like, that is a dream. If I could have brought Lauren with me when we were seeing, like, sussing out men, boom. And a potentially anxiety-inducing first date, I think now has been able to turn it into a fun night out with your bestie and some potential new connections, okay? So whether your date turns into something serious or it's just like a fun story for you to write into Call Her Daddy about, Double Date is the perfect way to explore new possibilities while also keeping things familiar. So try all the new Tinder Double Date because everything's better with friends. Explore all the possibilities. Tinder, it starts with a swipe. Download Tinder today.
Right. We're going to Tokyo. Oh my god. Oh my god. We are having a pre-concert drink in the lobby. This has been the most incredible day. I'm so happy that we got to experience Korea and Japan. And now we're just getting ready to go see our girl do her thing.
아니 같이 와가지고 그냥 정했어. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action.
Cheers, we're back. We're in Tokyo, we made it.
Yay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, I have a gift for you. Bring them in.
What?
Bring them in.
What?
These are so extra.
Oh my gosh. So extra. Oh my god, thank you so much.
You don't need to keep them the whole time, but I got these for you because I was like,
they smell so good.
You just put on a 3-hour performance and I just sat there screaming and cheering. I was like, I need to bring you something.
Aww,
you were amazing tonight.
You're so sweet.
Okay,
Thank
I'm going to put
you.
these in your room.
Thank you.
Someone put these in her room.
May I have this, like, I'll just keep it here.
Yeah, you'll put it there.
Thank
Okay,
you.
of course.
Did you have fun?
I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I showed up as a fan. I was with all the people. I was looking around. I was like nervous for you because now I'm like so invested in your journey. I'm like, oh my God, I hope she does perfect. And then you got out there and I was like, oh, she's a full professional.
Did you feel like a stage mom at all?
Me being like, Rosie hit your cue. And then also you being like, your dance moves, I'm watching you. I'm like, she hit it. Yes. Boom, boom.
That's so funny.
It was so fun seeing you up there. How did you feel?
I felt really good. It's been like 2 months since we've been on a break.
Right.
So I completely forgot that like version of me like completely. Mm-hmm. So yesterday was the first show. So today was a bit better.
It was wild to watch Blackpink and then it's so cool that you each have your solo moments. Mm-hmm. And when you went out for your solo moment, I was having another stage mom moment where I was like, oh my God, like toxic till the end.
Yeah.
I was like literally getting emo. I like almost started crying. I'm like, why am I getting emotional right now? Blackpink just announced a new album.
Oh, yes.
Casual. What can you tell us about it?
Well, so it's an album that we've all kind of obviously come back from after that like year of exploring and all being our individual selves. And so I think it was like really interesting to kind of come back and see what was created after that. And so I really like all the songs there and I love them, including Jump which is already released, and we have like a fun collaboration that's coming up.
Oh my God.
And I feel like it's like, so I played it for like a bunch of my team and my friends and they all were like it feels like Jump, but it's like so different. And they just say it sounds so different from anything else we've done. And I feel the same. And I feel like a lot of the collaboration is the reason, like, why that probably sounds that way. And I feel like, it's very new, and visually too. I don't think we've actually used as that much like CGI before.
Wow.
And
I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's like a big, like, funky mixture of like all these things, but for some reason, like, it works. Wow. And I'm really excited for the fans to see that. And yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited now. I feel like I've been on this journey with you. And again, to see Blackpink and then you have your solo moment. Do you think you would ever tour solo?
Oh, that's been a big subject amongst, obviously, like, my fans. Like, they are, definitely dying for me to be on tour, and I am too. But, I've always just thought, like, I want to be able to create a real, like, solid world to present to everyone. I didn't want to feel rushed, because that first solo album, like I mentioned to you, like, the whole thing was just like a learning curve, and I needed that time to really learn about the album. And so I feel like to create like a whole world on stage, I need more time to build on that, with extra songs as well. Cause right now I only have like, 12, and I feel like I don't feel ready to like create a whole, body of work for everyone yet. But I feel like it's slowly gonna kind of come closer once I feel like my second album or like more music comes out. But yeah, I just want everyone to be patient, and I just wanted to, cause I feel like once I do start, I feel like I'd love it so much that I would want to do it for so long. So I don't want to ruin that experience.
Do you love being on stage?
I think I do. But I also don't love being on stage when I feel like I'm not fully, like, it's not fully me.
I see.
So I understand that when it is fully me, I love it. Like, I want to repeat it. Even like yesterday when we came back from the break, I was like, I love this. Like, I can't believe this is coming to an end. This is so much fun. And I feel like for Blackpink, this is like the most defined like show we've put together. So that excites me. And so like, even for my solo thing, like, I can't wait for the day that like I kind of create this world that I'm obsessed with also, that I just like want to be on stage all the time, because that's euphoric for everyone.
When you look at your future, a decade from now, 2 decades from now, what do you want for yourself in the future? What are your dreams?
That's a big question. I've now noticed that, like, I feel like when I was younger, like, it seemed really simple. It's just like one dream. And then once I'm there, everything will be like, I'll be like so happy. I'll feel like I'm on top of the world, all of that. But I've noticed that there's just so much that goes, to get to anywhere. And I've also noticed that like what I love changes, like my interests change, and what makes me happy is always kind of ever evolving. And so I feel like it would be hard to be like, I'd like it to be like this. But now, after everything that we've all lived through, I feel like, I hope at the end of like 10, in 10 years or 20 years time, I'm just at the place I want to be, and I've found what makes me happy in that moment, and that I'm peaceful. Whatever that means. Whether that means like I'd like to be, I would love to live like Beyonce, or I'd like to like, become an expert at embroidery, or I don't know, whatever it is, or I'd like to work at a hotel, and like whatever it is, I hope I'm like at a place that makes me feel inspired, creative, and just peaceful.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
To wrap us up, this incredible trip. No. I know. I'm like sad to say that. But we'll keep drinking after this. I think throughout this entire trip, I've felt so lucky to get to know you. I feel so inspired by you as a woman and an entertainer and as a person. But, I'm curious. I know you don't do a lot of interviews. So one, how are you feeling about this whole experience with me and this conversation? Because you've opened up a lot. Like, how are you feeling as I'm going to leave soon?
I'm first of all very sad. I'm almost like, is there a season 2 of this of our K-drama that we've created?
We'll do a part 2 at some point.
Yeah, I'd love that. But I feel like So after like the interviews we did in Korea, there were like these moments where I even went to my team and I was like, do you think everything I said like in the moment, I felt so comfortable and I feel like you helped me really like open up and feel like human and like safe enough to share, my thoughts. But even still, I noticed like once I went home, I was already asking my team, like, do you think anything like I said will kind of turn back on me again? Do you think any of like the people online will use these like information as bait to like, twist stories or whatnot? And I was already back in fear. And that's when I noticed, like, I remembered the conversations we had. And also my team listening to these conversations were like, no, remember like the conversations that you had with her? I think it should be okay. And it's a good thing what you're doing. And so like this whole experience I've had with you is like another learning experience. And yes, we'll go off and this will be online and we'll see what people say about it. But I think it's just it's like, even still, I feel like I haven't opened up much, and I'm hoping that the next time we meet, I'll be even more comfortable. I'll feel even more safe out in the open. And yeah, so I feel like it's just like a lot of emotions have been coming through doing this with you, and it was so much fun. And
it was an honor.
You've given me so much confidence.
You've given me confidence. Again, I feel like we have so much in common, and maybe we came together being like, I wonder if what will we bond over, and and I feel like I'm leaving being like, wow, I feel like I have so much to think about also, even just moving forward for me as an interviewer. You've really been it's been an enlightening couple days. So I appreciate your time because I know how busy you are. I know you just got off stage after a 3-hour show. You've been at that stadium all day. Like, thank you for your time. And
this is a treat to speak with you.
Thank you. And I hope everyone watching this, you shouldn't have anxiety because you have said nothing other than your own feelings and your thoughts about your own life. And so anyone watching, maybe just keep in mind that this is Rosie's life. And so to comment negatively or whatever it be, like maybe think before you write anything negative, because I think you've really opened up in a beautiful way. And the way to continue to get more of you and you to share is for people to be receptive of your vulnerability. So
I hope the next time we can just have fun talking about funny things, because the fact that we have to like go back down to like, it sounds very depressing. Like
we really crying.
Right?
Part 2 is us.
Having fun, saying whatever the fuck we want.
I'm actually still not over me being like, so Rosie, are you seeing anyone? You went like this. You flung off your chair. Your best friend's in the room being like, Rosie, get back on the chair.
I know. She was like,
but you know what? I think that's what's so fun is I've only interviewed a couple people in my career multiple times, and I know you're going to be one of them.
Oh, really?
I really do, because I feel like we're right, if anything, at the beginning of this chapter for you. Like, this isn't the middle or the end. Like, I really feel like this is such a beginning of you and what we're going to continue to learn about you, and you're going to grow. And so I'm just honored that I got to meet you, and I will be here whenever that next album comes out, girl. And we will sit down and we will talk about the tea. We will dissect
oh my God, wait, I already have like 5 songs that like my friends, when they listen, they go like, Rosie? And I'm like, about it later.
Stop. You can't tease me that. Okay, you'll tell me off camera.
It'd be perfect for Call Her Daddy.
Next episode, part 2. Rosie,
I'm so excited.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Thank you for coming on Call Her Daddy.
Yay.
It was an honor.
Thank you.